Alright, hey guys, here we are. What hole is this? 7? I believe this is 7. And I think, I gotta be honest, I think we're going to try to stick with that similar strategy that we did last time, and we're going to just try to do a revision. So I remember my mistakes. I don't recommend going to the left. Really, I don't recommend going to the right like this. I don't really recommend either of these. There's just no value in getting over there. You're going to create kind of a more sideways wind. It's much better to just kind of focus on this precision shot. And one of the things you could see my opponent did is he tried to do this with a quarterback. Probably something you could technically do if you wanted to, but also something that you don't need to do. So you can see with what I'm trying to do, which is just trying to utilize as much left spin as possible. And this is what I mentioned about trying to avoid getting that rough bounce on that second hop. And this is going to really increase the likelihood that you miss that. So here I'm going to go almost 7 rings and just focus on perfect ball. And sure enough, that's pretty perfect. Now, the only thing I'm a little worried about, and we'll just have to see, what distance am I? Okay, do I wind up in between clubs? That's the only thing I'm a little worried about. So if I do, I'm just going to crank that backspin up more next time. But I don't think I'm going to. We'll see. We'll have to just see how it plays. Because I remember I was very close to max sniper. So with that in mind, I would imagine we probably can't get down to below min sniper. I wouldn't even think it's possible. But you can see when you play it with all that side spin, it's going to make sure that bounces 1 and 2 are going to be farthest away from the rough in both scenarios. So you're creating a much better angle. And you can see, you know, both of us, me and my opponent, up. You know, I'm going to just chip this backwards and basically just tell you guys kind of intentionally use 3 to 4 backspin, or kind of, if you don't have 3 or 4 backspin for whatever reason, just try to get your ball just a little bit shorter. Because I'd really rather play this with a sniper than I would, because what's going to end up happening is I'm going to club up and then I'll be in the sniper. So I want to make sure this stops just a little bit shorter next time. So we're going to modify our spin, or vice versa. The only other thing we could do if we had, you know, for whatever reason, say we have a POC 4, then we're just going to kind of make sure that our first and second hops are a bit shorter. So this ends up checking. So that way we can get to this point right here. And again, as I mentioned last time, we're going to want to make sure that this ball guide is through the hole relatively considerably. So I'm thinking something along the lines of this. You can see that I'm kind of a little bit hot through the hole here. Now, we are more towards min club this time. However, I know I'm going to use pretty close to a max adjustment. I'm also rotating that screen. So you can see that I'm rotating the wind angle, because last time my shot was really exaggerated. So you can see so I caught a great ball to the right. Unfortunately, that looks a little bit better distance wise. Now, had I caught perfect ball, maybe shoots out towards the hole, but you can see much better angle, because I think, you know, the first time we played this, I was significantly left. So if I caught the perfect ball there, it would have been maybe to the right of the hole, but much better alignment. So hopefully you guys can use that, and you can see the difference between my two pool angles. They're very different. I pulled my rings much more in the right direction there. And you can see it was much better in terms of, had I caught the perfect ball, it might have been maybe a yard to the right. So keep that in mind. Good luck, and I'll see you guys on 8 momentarily.